All right, let's talk about the mindset of a man who many call the toughest on the planet, David Goggins. And look, this isn't about some rah-rah motivation. This is about actually rewiring your brain to do things you thought were impossible.
So, at the core of everything Goggins talks about is this one really provocative idea. That feeling you get when you're exhausted, it's a lie. That moment when your mind is screaming, "I'm done," you've barely even scratched the surface.
So that's the real question here, isn't it? What if that voice in your head, the one telling you to stop, to take it easy, to quit, what if it's just plain wrong? David Goggins basically built his entire life on proving that it is.
But here's the thing. To really get where this iron will comes from, you have to understand where he came from. This mindset wasn't something he was born with. It was forged in the absolute fire of struggle. This guy wasn't born some kind of superhero, not even close.
So picture this. This is David Goggins when he's 24 years old, almost 300 pounds. This is not the picture of an elite athlete. This was a man who is at a breaking point.
And, his life pretty much matched that picture. He was stuck in a dead-end job, barely making ends meet. His routine was basically coming home, sitting on the couch, and eating junk food. That was his reality.
And this quote right here, wow, it just says everything about where he came from. His childhood was a nightmare. Poverty, racism, abuse. By every single metric, he was set up to fail.
But then, one night, something clicks. He's watching TV and sees this documentary about Navy SEALs going through Hell Week. He saw the absolute hardest thing you could possibly do and decided right then and there that was his way out.
Okay, so how on earth do you go from that guy to a Navy SEAL? It's not just a simple choice. It means you have to build a mind that can handle unimaginable pain. It means intentionally putting yourself through hell.
I mean, the numbers here are just insane. To even get a shot at SEAL training, he had to drop 106 pounds. His strategy was just pure, brutal, relentless work. Waking up at 4:30 a.m., hours of exercise, study, more exercise. It's like he didn't just lose weight. He declared all-out war on the person he used to be. And man, did he win.
And it's out of this furnace that he comes up with one of his core ideas. It's this concept of callousing your mind. Think about it, right? When you do hard labor, your hands get calluses, they get tougher. He's saying you have to do the exact same thing to your brain by choosing to do difficult things over and over until what used to feel impossible is just your new normal.
So yeah, the story is wild. But what's really useful for us is that he created a set of mental tools from that experience. This is where it gets really practical. You can think of it like a toolkit or an arsenal, really, for your own mental battles.
All right, first up is probably his most famous idea, the 40% rule. You know that feeling when you're completely wiped, you feel like you can't possibly do one more rep or run one more step? Goggins says at that exact moment, you've only used about 40% of what you're actually capable of. Your brain has this built-in safety switch, this governor, that's designed to keep you comfortable. This rule's all about learning how to shut it off.
And you know what's crazy? This isn't just some tough guy talk. Science actually has a name for this. It's called the central governor model. The theory goes that our brains evolved this governor as a survival tool to, save energy and protect us. So that feeling of being totally gassed, it's just an emotion. It's a warning light, not the engine actually blowing up. Your mind gives up way before your body does.
Okay, next tool in the box, the accountability mirror. This is about being brutally, uncomfortably honest with yourself. Goggins would literally plaster his mirror with sticky notes, listing his goals, his weaknesses, all of it. He had to face it every single day. No more hiding, no more excuses, just the raw truth and a plan to fix it.
But what about when you're really in it, when you're hurting and that voice of doubt gets loud? Well, that's when you reach into what he calls the cookie jar. This is your own personal highlight reel of every hard thing you've ever done, every obstacle you've overcome. It's your personal bank of proof that you're a badass.
And this is something you can literally do right now. Sit down and write out every single challenge you've ever beaten, every achievement, big or small. Then, when you're struggling, when you feel like quitting, you mentally reach in, pull out one of those cookies, and remember what you're made of. It's about using your own past victories to shut down that inner critic.
All right, this next one is a little more aggressive. He calls it taking souls. The idea is, when people doubt you, a boss, a competitor, whoever, you don't waste your breath arguing. You just outwork them. You perform at such an incredibly high level that their doubt just evaporates. Your performance becomes the only response they need.
So when you put all these tools together, the 40% rule, the cookie jar, taking souls, they all point to one single powerful philosophy. Comfort is the #1 enemy of your potential.
In this quote from Goggins just nails it. He truly believes the modern world is engineered to make us soft, to make everything easy. The problem is, in all that comfort, we never get the resistance we need to actually get stronger, to find out what we're really made of. And really, this is the battle going on inside our heads all the time, right? You've got that voice of comfort, which is always whispering, hey, just take it easy. You can do it tomorrow. But the voice of growth, that's the one Goggins says you have to train yourself to listen to. And it only shows up when things get really, really hard.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. You have to change your relationship with discomfort. Stop seeing that feeling as a red light telling you to stop. Start seeing it as a signpost, as proof that you're on the right track, that you're actually growing.
So all this brings us to one final question. And this one isn't for Goggins, it's for you. What is that one thing? That tough conversation, that 5 a.m. alarm, that project you're scared to fail at? Because if there's any truth to this mindset, it means that whatever you really want in life, it's waiting for you, right on the other side of that discomfort.